Good evening, everyone.
Hello, good evening.
How's it? How are you?
Fine, thank you. Yourself?
How was your Purim?
Was wonderful, thank you, Rolf. Was
It was
wonderful.
nice to be
Yeah.
with the family, I'm sure.
Oh, lovely, lovely. You can't believe it. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Good. Who else with us? Jeffrey with us. Hello, Jeffrey. Welcome back.
Hello. Oh, thank you. What an amazing Chag this was. Amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
If there's any reading to do tonight to do, I'm sure it's going to be very nice if I can do it.
No, there's no reading tonight. No reading tonight.
No, I'm joking.
No reading tonight. I promise. I'm sure that all of you had quite a bit of drinking. We'll speak about it today. Bezrat Hashem. Let's see what I would like to do tonight is actually to summarize the secret of the festival of the Purim. What's hiding behind the festival of Purim, Bezrat Hashem? I need to mute this noise in the background. I'm muting the noise. And that's it. So tonight, Bezrat Hashem, I'm gonna speak about the secret. I'm actually gonna summarize the secret of Purim, Be'ezrat Hashem. I'm gonna try and summarize what's hiding behind Purim that we celebrate today, and try to bring certain minhagim. I'm gonna start obviously with few ideas, and then we're gonna go into it to explain like certain halachot that we have, like custom that we have, and how's that fitting with us today with the festival of Hag Purim. Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll try to explain everything. How's that working? So I'm gonna mute all. I'm gonna mute everyone. Just wait another 1 minute or two for everyone to join, for more people to join. And then we're gonna start the shi'ur. I just wanna wish all of you Purim Sameach, that you all have. Tomorrow is Shushan Purim, as you all know. It's still Purim in Yerushalayim, ve'arim ha'pruzot. That means the city that, ve'arim mukafot choma, the city that was surrounded by walls on the day of Yoshua bin Nun. So tomorrow is Purim in Yerushalayim, funny enough, Jericho, and all of that city. Beersheba, funny enough, Haifa was surrounded. So all of those, Akko, there was all, there's a question about Akko. It's not so simple about Akko. Gaza, definitely, tomorrow they're reading the Megillah, because Gaza was by the sea. So tomorrow is Shushan Purim. Okay, let's start the shi'ur, and the subject of the shi'ur, Rabotai, I'm going to summarize the secret of Purim, Be'ezrat Hashem, because we didn't have enough time to do all for Purim. I wanted to do the Megillah. So when you read the Megillah, I hope when you heard the Megillah today, you actually found out different way to understand the Megillah. You understand it, you looked at it differently. I would like to start, Be'ezrat Hashem na'aseh v'natzliach v'Hashem aleinu berachamav yarviach. I would like to dedicate the shi'ur in the soul of Esther Kadem bat Ketzia, Mordechai ben Rahma, Tamar bat Zehava, Itan ben Keren ve'Avishai na'eh, Malka Regina bat Joye, Yaakov Salomon ben Parha ve'Parha bat Salha. נשמתם תהיה צרורה בצור החיים. Also, לרפואת כל חולי ופצועי עמו בית ישראל, ובכללם לאורה בת מרים, מנשה נג'י בן פרחה, הרב משה בן באי הבתיה, הרב משה בן דבורה, הרב שלמה יהודה בן דליה, הרב אברהם בן מרימה, דבורה בת אסתר, שינה קהילה בת חנה, מרדכי דוד בן לאה, יהודה הלל בן שולמית, חיים נחום בן פסח רזע הכהן, ברוך בן שרה חיינה, אהובה קדן בת טלי אסתר, לאה בת רחל, פסח יצחק בן אלה, איילה עדן בת רבקה, נתני מלכה בת שרה רבקתל, יהודה אליעזר, יהודה בן אליעזר, מאיר בן יהודה, אריאל בן שילת, אורי בן יעל, וחנניה שלום בן אביגדור. Please God, רפואה שלמה to them, ולכל חולי ופצועי עמו ישראל ובכללם those member of the defense force, the Israeli defense force that got injured. רפואה שלמה to all the Jewish people that need רפואה. רבותיי, Purim, the day of Purim is a great day. It's so great day that it's saying Tikkunei HaZohar. What is Tikkunei HaZohar? There is the Zohar HaKadosh and there is Tikkunei HaZohar. Tikkunei HaZohar, it's a 70 drashot that wrote Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai on the word Bereshit. He explained the word Bereshit. And there he says something very interesting. He said there that the day of Purim that we know is Keyom Kippurim. That means it's tell us in page Nun Zayin Amud Aleph, Nun Zayin. That means Nun is 57 in page 57. He tell us something very interesting, that Purim is like the Yom Kippur. And what do we have to understand? So on a pshat of the dvarim, that the same like HaKadosh Baruch Hu doing atonement to the Jewish people in Yom Kippurim, he also doing to us atonement in Yom Purim. That means in Yom Kippur, we're sitting and fasting and we davening. We're not allowed to eat. We're not allowed to drink. We're not allowed to wear leather shoes. We know that we forbidden from any physical relationship. We're not allowed to have a shower. We're not allowed to anoint ourselves. All of those prohibitions that we have on Yom Kippurim, on Purim, we doing the rectification by eating. Okay? That means that Yom Kippurim and Yom Purim, it's actually very equal. If not, even Yom Purim, it's higher. Listen to that, it's higher. But we have to understand what does it mean that Yom Kippurim is the same like Yom Kippur. How can it be that Yom Purim, that we sit, we eat, we drink, we, a matter of fact, have a mitzvah to be a bit high. I'm not saying shikha, I'm not saying drunk. To be a bit high, to feel good. How can it be that on that day, it's a day of atonement? We're actually dressing up. Some people dress up in Purim. We have all different mitzvot. Like that we give mishloach manot one to each other. That's one, the mitzvah that we have. We have another mitzvah that we do on Yom Purim. It's to give matanot la'evyonim. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll go through all of that and we'll try to explain all of it Be'ezrat Hashem. Okay, so first of all, we have to understand that Yom Purim, we actually do the rectification by physicality, while on Yom Kippur, we're doing it spiritually. What does it mean? On Yom Kippur, we acting like angels. We don't eat, we don't drink, okay? We do things similar to what the angel in heaven doing. But on Yom Kippur, on Yom Purim, the festival of Purim, we actually doing the rectification physicality. We have to have a Sauda, okay? We have to listen to Megillah, listen. Oznei Aman will speak to it. We're going to connect the listening for the reading of the Megillah. Number two, we have to understand, number three, we have to understand also, we eating, we drinking, we say, we giving matanot la'evyonim, we giving money to those that need, and we do mishloach manot, one to each other. We're sending food, we're sending gift, one to each other. Hello, Mark. Hag Sameach. Thank you for joining us. It's still Hag. It's still Purim today. Tomorrow is Shushan Purim.
Rob, thank you. Nice to be here.
How do we actually understand what's happening in Purim? So Hazal explained that why HaKadosh Baruch Hu given us the pool, the lottery, because Mordechai Yehudi told the Jewish people not to join the feast of King Ahasuerus. How many people gone to that feast? 18,500 from the Jews that lived in Shushan. Not all the Jews gone, but was 18,500 people that gone to that feast. And what happened there? The Mefarshim explained that Mordechai Yehudi told the Jewish people, please do not go there. Don't go to that feast. Although that everything gonna be kosher, glad kosher, everything according to his kashrut. The wine gonna be kosher, everything gonna be kosher. But it's gonna be something else that's gonna desecrate. What? The Hashverosh will not dress like the Kohen Gadol. And I heard, when I was studying today, I heard a hidush that I never heard, first time in my life. That Queen Vashti, when she saw the Kohen Gadol dressing as a Kohen, when she saw the Hashverosh dressing as a Kohen Gadol, she said to him, I'm a queen. I'm also entitled to dress as a Kohen Gadol. And she dressed the clothes of the Kohen Gadol. That hidush I heard today. I never saw it. I was when I heard it today, when I read it, wow, I was shocked. So what do we see? We see that the idea behind that feast, it was to mock the Jewish people and try to let them understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu basically left us, and there is no more Bet HaMikdash. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will never build the Bet HaMikdash. That we're talking about the second temple, the second Bet HaMikdash. But we have to understand that Yom Purim, it's come to do rectification for it. And not only that, there is a secret behind it. Yom Purim is such a holy day that if we focus on that day and we know what to ask on a physical point of view, on a spiritual point of view, we actually can get a lot. In everything, and physicality, listen to that, and spirituality. Many of us in Purim, we don't understand, but the day is gone. Suddenly the day disappears. We're wasting our time on a Seudah, we're wasting our time in all different things, and the day is gone. That the Seudah is very important, you have to do Seudah, but more than an hour and a half, it's enough. After an hour and a half, you go home because you maybe drank a bit, you sleep for an hour, you wake up and you continue to study. Also, after the Megillah reading, that there is a mitzvah to give mishloach manot ish l're'ehu. But you don't have to go wild. You don't have to go ballistic until you go to the Seudah or until you do the Seudah at home. Okay? It's only for two people. But I would like to start with a great idea that I'm going to tell a story for us to understand the story from the Baal Shem Tov, the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh. And we spoke about him before, Rabbi Israel ben Sarah or Rabbi Israel ben Eliezer. He born in the Ukraine. He born around 305 years ago, as we explained, not alone known about the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh. And listen to that story. And from that, we try to understand what's hiding behind the secret of Purim. One year, it was a famine in a city of where the Baal Shem Tov lived. And the people, the people approached the Baal Shem Tov and said to him, please pray for us and ask for rain. The Baal Shem Tov said to them, there is a guy in a city not far from here. If you go to him, if he'll daven, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will listen to him. So the students say, okay, we will go. The student took the horses, the chariot, and they gone to him. They got to the city where that person lived. He say, you mean the drunk person? He said, no, he's a rabbi. There's no rabbi in that name. That name, there's a guy that he's drunk all the time. You want to find him. Go almost to the corner there by the end of the city. You'll find them there. There's a small little house. It's looked like a sheikh. You can find them there in a sheikh. Okay? The students listened to what the Baal Shem Tov told them, that he's a great man. Or maybe the people of the city doesn't know him very well. Maybe he's a hiding tzaddik, he hide himself. Anyway, they knock on the door, no answer. But they hear that there's noise inside the shack there. Anyway, they open the shack and they saw a drunk man living in a false. You can't believe. He says, that the tzaddik that the Baal Shem Tov tell us to go? We don't understand. Anyway, they speak to him. He's half drunk. He doesn't know what's cooking on. Anyway, but the students say the Baal Shem Tov told us that that's the man. He must, you know what he's talking. Anyway, they waited for him a bit, few hours. He'd wake up. He start to become a bit understanding what's happening. He start to focus a little bit. He's still drunk, heavy head. And he said to him, listen, we are the student of the Baal Shem Tov. He said to him, who's the Baal Shem Tov? I never heard about him. He's a half drunk. Anyway, they realized that they're dealing with a person that they can't talk. They said to him, listen, our rabbi told us that whatever you ask, in Shamayim, they listen to you. And we have a famine in our country, in our city, and we don't get rain. And we need you to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that will bring rain down to us, to our city. Please, we need to get rid of that famine. That drunk couldn't understand, took him a while. Anyway, in the end, he said to him, what is your wish? After maybe half an hour that he's trying to explain to him, he started to say that I'm asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu that HaKadosh Baruch Hu please bring rain to that city and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that man said that. The student looked at him. They couldn't understand what's cooking on here. Okay. They left him and they start to go back. They're going back to the place where the Baal Shem Tov. When they arrive at the Baal Shem Tov looked at his student and he said to him, you have a lot of questions. He said, question? It's a good thing. But they realize that there is rain in a city. He said, we don't understand what's happening here. The man is completely drunk. You see the fault that he lives in. It's beyond understanding. And he asked, and look, there is rain. What's happening here? He said to his student, wait, let me explain to you what's happening. He said, that man had a lot of money one day. And he wanted to go and he collect a lot of rubal and he wanted to make avera. He wanted to go and commit a sin. And on the way that he was on his way to commit the sin, he suddenly hears screaming and shouting from one house. And immediately he ran to the house and he saw that the owner, is one of the goyim beating a full family of Jews. So he asked, why are you beating them? He said that they was late to pay me my rent. Therefore, they deserve to be punished. And he was beating them. He said to him, listen, how much do they owe you? He told them the figures. He given them the money and he left them alone. That means he done pidyon shvuim. That means he redeemed the captures. Okay. He says that man in Shamayim, his act, although that he was planning to go to commit an evil sin, but when he heard that the family get beaten by, I don't know how you call it, they call it paritz. In Hebrew, we call it the paritz. And that time, in Ukraine was a lot of those people that own houses, own little places, and they used to rent and they used to collect money from the Jews, and the Jews didn't pay them on time, they used to beat them. In Hebrew, we call it a paritz. Said the Baal Shem Tov, the act of that drunk person made a big noise in heaven. And they say, whenever he gonna ask for something, we have to grant it. If he asks to bring the Mashiach will come. Whatever he will ask, we have to answer him. That was the grant that they given that man for that reward of mitzvah. But, you know, the Yetzer Hara will never allow it. The Yetzer Hara always will make all the tricks that he can to make sure that that person actually not going to have a chance to get to ask for good thing. So immediately he made him as a drunk. He introduced him to the alcohol, and that person start drinking vodka. And you know, the vodka in Europe, it's not the vodka sure that we have here. And he gets used to it, and he become very drunk. Said the Baal Shem Tov to his student, but you know what was his secret? His secret is that when he's not drunk, if he'll have the seichel to ask, he'll get everything. But he's so drunk that he doesn't have the ability to ask for anything. Said Chachmei Musar, that's exactly what's happening to us on Purim. On Purim, we're wasting that holy day, a day of atonement, the same like Yom Kippur, by that we're busy giving Mishloach Manot, running like mad. If after the Megillah, straight to Mishloach Manot, after Mishloach Manot to the Sauda, we don't give ourselves a minute. And then in the Sauda, we start drinking. When we get drunk, we don't remember what we're doing. But it doesn't say that you should get drunk. I have inshele besumen. A person should feel a bit good, a bit happy, enjoy his drink. It doesn't say that you have to get drunk. He said that's what's happened to us in Pesach. We're wasting our day without understanding what we're losing. And suddenly the day of Purim just vanished, disappeared from us. Say Chachmei Musar, you have to understand, a person on Purim can open all the gate of heaven. That means that all the door in heaven a person can open. But unfortunately, we eat, we drink, we dress up, we joke. Yes, we need it. But that great day, that Purim is such a great day that we're forgetting what's hiding behind that. What is that? The Yetzer Hara pushed us and convinced us to do stupid things that we will forget to ask what we need to ask, especially in Purim. Okay, נכון, that there is a mitzvah to eat, there is a mitzvah to send mishloach manot, there is a mitzvah to do seuda, but we mustn't forget that great day. Why? Because the purpose of Yom Purim is to do atonement to the seuda that the Jewish people eaten. Where? In Shoshana Bira. On a deeper meaning, the mystical rabbi explained it's actually a rectification for Het Etzadat. That means the sin of eating from the tree of knowledge. And that's why we have to do Seuda. But, Rabotai, when a person eats the Seuda, if it's done in Kedusha and Tahara, okay, Hazal tell us that the Almighty coming down. Not only that, the soul of Esther Malka, the Mordechai Yehudi coming down to that Seuda. So whatever we ask, we can grant on that time. Why? Because we're sitting with Akadosh Baruch Hu, the Almighty, sitting with us in a Sauda. Esther HaMalka sitting with us in a Sauda. Mordechai Yehudi sitting with us on a Sauda. Whatever we can ask can be granted in Saudat Purim. But the difference is that sometimes we get overboard on Saudat Purim. That's our mistake in Purim. We know that we have to, in Purim, we read the Megillah twice, one at night, one in the morning, or one in a day. Those that can't do it early morning can do it during the day. Kol hayom kasher lekriat HaMegillah. What does it mean? That on the time that we read the Megillah, we have a custom to hit, to make noise when we hear the name of Haman. What's hiding behind it? So the Mekubalim explain that you should kick your feet on the ground. That means that at that time, we actually annihilating the descendants of Amalek, Haman Rasha himself. By that we hitting and we making noise, we actually hitting Haman Rasha himself. So Hazal say, because his soul coming now, getting awake now during that time, and the same like he been annihilated, now we're starting to annihilate him. That's how we annihilate him. Haman Rasha been hanged, Rabotai, you know when? Tetzain Nisan, 16 of Nisan. That's when he been hanged. That is your side. The Yortzeit of Vashti, if anyone want to know, it was on Shabbat, on Yom Kippur, if anyone want to know. So what does it come to tell you? That Dafka now in Purim, the Yetzer Hara, that evil inclination of Amalek start to wake up. How we can annihilate them, how we can destroy it, by that the Mekubalim tell us, hit them to the ground, destroy them, crush them into the ground, annihilate them. Some people hit on a table, whatever. It doesn't make a difference. As long as we annihilate them. Come Hazal and tell us another secret. We've accustomed to eat oznei Haman, human tossing. We call it in English, in Yiddish, you call it human tossing. What's hiding behind that human tossing? And we'll see how's it fit. So we explained in previous year that if you look, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he brought the decree to kill, to destroy, to annihilate all the Jews in 127 countries of King Ahasuerus, it was a bad decree. But with all of that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wrapped us with mercy and compassion and kindness, that in the end turn in our favor. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu destroyed the descendants of Amalek and hang Haman Rasha and his 10 kids, and some say even Zeresh Ishto. Other people, other commentary that I read, Zeresh Ishto become a slave to Esther HaMalka. Okay? But what do we hear from that? That the human tassen on the outside is white. That represents mercy and compassion and kindness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu have with us. Inside the filling, it's small, it's chocolate, it's dark. Sometimes things look to us dark. But even when things doesn't look so bright, look to us like dark, you have to understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu surround us with a lot of mercy, a lot of compassion. Many years later, we're starting to realize what was hiding behind that act. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do it? And Hazal tell us, "En davar ra yored min hashamayim." There's nothing bad coming from heaven. Many people don't see it now. matter of fact. Most of us don't understand it now. But later, many years later, sometime, we never see, we never understand. But there's nothing bad coming from heaven. That's one of the ideas that we brought in previous year from the Mekubal, Rabbi Shimshon Haim Nachmani, Zera Shimshon. He born in the city of Modena in the north of Italy 318 years ago. But he bring a different, another idea that I never shared with you before. This is a new idea. He said, listen to the word Ozne Haman. Ozne is the ear, the ears of a man. Why they call it, I couldn't understand for many years. Why they call that pastry Ozne Haman. I couldn't work it out until I heard it today. And it said like this. Akadosh Baruch Hu told Mordechai Ayudi, tell the Jewish people they shouldn't go to the feast. They're not allowed to go to the feast of Ahasuerus, although that all the food is 100% kosher. Not only kosher, glatt kosher. The wine is 100% kosher. Everything is 100%. But the feast is a feast of a wicked person. And second of all, we're not allowed to drink alcohol with the Gentile. It doesn't make a difference. It's not only wine. Any kind of alcohol, we're not allowed to drink with Gentiles. And in that feast was obviously not only Jews, as you know, was also Gentiles. But the Jewish people didn't listen. Not all. 18,500 members of the city of Shushan Abirah, the capital of Shushan, gone to the feast. They wanted to enjoy the feast. Although that Mordechai told them not. Said the Zera Shimshon, we read the Megillah. Do we understand the Megillah? We have to understand here, you know why they call that pastry the ears of a man? That when the tzaddikim tell us something, we have to understand that we have to listen and to hear what they say and to obey to what they say. Because if we're not going to obey to what the tzaddikim tell us, we are in trouble. Why we are in trouble? Hazal in a Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin, in page Tzadik Zayin Amud Bet, that means Tzadik 97 folio 2. Hazal say something extraordinary. Hazal say that the Jewish people, when they don't listen to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he see that we're going overboard, he's going to send us Melech, a king, Rasha, Kumo Haman, a wicked king like Haman, and there inevitably will do tshuva. Is that sending you a message to what's happened after the 7th of October? Many people that wasn't even religious. There was, a matter of fact, atheists. I know about a full platoon, okay, of a special forces, the combat unit, that none of them, of those platoon that was there, maybe not none of them, my mistake, I refrain, maybe 10% of them. That means 90% of them not religious. The other percentages, few of them religious, okay? Call it 10%, let's be generous. And a miracle happened. One of the religious guys was standing to daven mincha by himself, not in a minyan, by himself. And while he's standing to daven mincha, from one of suddenly a terrorist came out of the ground, and he shouted terrorist, and he opened fire, and he saved the entire platoon, because all the platoon was facing backwards. Remember, I told you the story. All of them took on themselves to daven mincha from now on. Why? They don't understand, but they took it on themselves. That means that sometime HaKadosh Baruch Hu do things to us that can change our way of thinking. And I think that's what's hiding behind the idea of reading the Megillah. Okay? That if a person didn't listen or didn't focus to one word, lo yatzai yedei chova. And that's where is the connection to the custom to eat ozne aman, humentasen, on Purim. To teach us that if a tzaddik, if the tzaddikim of the door, the righteous people of the generation, the gedolim of the door, tell us to do something, we have to listen to them. That's the connection between the reading of the Megillah, the mitzvah that we have to read the Megillah, to listen to the Megillah, and eating humentasen. Why dafka they call it Ozne Aman? I'm telling you about it for many years. I'm breaking my head to find an answer. And Baruch Hashem, today, I heard from the Zera Shimshon, Rabbi Shimshon Haim Nachmani, that we bring in, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha, that he said that the Ozne Aman come to teach us if you're not listening to the tzaddikim of the door, of the generation, I'm going to send a wicked king that's going to make you listen to them. And that's the connection between the two. Let's continue in understanding another mitzvah that we have in Purim. The mitzvah that we have in Purim is to give matanot la'evyonim. Matanot la'evyonim, give charity to those that need. What is the Hidush here? The Maran Shulchan Aruch, listen to that, what he said, the Maran Shulchan Aruch, in Rabbi Yosef Karo, that born in the city of Toledo 535 years ago, in Shulchan Aruch, Orach Chaim Siman Kaf Resh Tzadik Dalet, that means 694. Look what he said. Kol haposhet notnim lo tzedakah. Okay? Ve'en botkim aharav. Ve'lo botkim aharav. That means, whoever asks for tzedakah, whoever say he need money, give him, and we don't check if you really need or you doesn't really need. That means all year around, you're obligated to check. But on Purim, don't check. People ask, give tzedakah. What is the hidush? What is the hidush that's hiding? We said that the day of Purim, now I'm going back to the beginning, where we start. That what the Zohar HaKadosh tell us, that the day of Purim is equivalent to Yom Kippurim. In Yom Kippurim, we get judged. Say, I saw that interpretation from Rabbi Binyamin Finkel. Rabbi Binyamin Finkel is one of the head Rabbanim of the Yeshiva Timir in Yerushalayim, the biggest yeshiva in Eretz Israel. Yeshiva Timir is huge. And Rabbi Binyamin Finkel says something extraordinary. He said, Purim is a day of judgment. It's a day of judgment. HaKadosh Baruch Hu judges us. He judges us. Should he give him prosperity to a human being? Not to give prosperity to a human being. When we give tzedakah, okay, to those that need, without asking, say HaKadosh Baruch Hu in heaven sitting and saying, he didn't check, also I'm not going to check him. He asked for tzedakah, I'm going to give him tzedakah. It doesn't make a difference if he deserve or it's not deserve. He make averot or he's not make averot. Measure for measure. In Purim, it's a day of judgment. He given tzedakah to whoever ask. Also. He need, I'm going to send. So Purim is a day that we should ask for physicality. What it means physicality? Prosperity. We want money. We want parnasa. And that's the secret, Rabotai, that hiding. Matanot la'evyonim. Matanot la'evyonim, that means money to those that need, poor people. When you give without asking, without knowing, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you. And as much that you give more, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you more. Why? Because Purim is a day of atonement. It's actually, the Hachmei Kabbalah explained that it's in a higher level than Yom Kippur. It's a higher level of Yom Kippur. It's a higher day of atonement. The only difference, like we explained earlier, we do it in a physical way, without fasting. We're doing it by eating. We're doing it by drinking, to rectify the sin of the feast that they have where? In Purim, the feast of the king Ahashverosh. Also with Matanot la'evyonim. Then we have Mishloach Manot. What it means, Mishloach Manot? Mishloach Manot, that you give two different kind of a meal, you send to a fellow friend. Rabotai, by that you're doing it, you're creating unity, okay, and love between one each other in a Jewish people. HaKadosh Baruch Hu say that unity, it's one of the foundation, the fundamental thing to bring the Mashiach. If we want Mashiach, we have to live in unity and peace, like we explained, that Zecher is a Gematria Zayin Chaf Resh, it's 227. Amalek, it's 240. Subtract 227 from 240, you get 13. 13 is Gematria Lav and Ehad. By that we're creating love and unity, okay, that's how we can destroy the descendants of Amalek and bring in Mashiach. That's how we can bring Mashiach. And that's how we actually also connecting now I'm speaking a bit on a different of the mystical, that we're connecting the Shem Havaya, Yud K, Vav K. We're connecting the Yud and K, Yud K, and the Vav K. We're connecting the holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu together. That's the Hidush. By that we're creating love and peace and unity between us and our friend. By that we're giving Mishloach Malot, okay? That's, we're building the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what Amalek wanted to destroy. But he separated the Yud K from the Vav K. Now we're joining. And that's the Hidush of Mishloach Manot. Then Hazal tell us something very interesting. I'm sure that you all hear about it. It's a midrash, but where is the source for it? Hazal tell us, לעתיד לבוא, כל המועדים עתידים להתבטל, חוץ מפורים. Purim and Hanukkah. That means the source to it comes from the Gemara in the Yerushalmi Masechet Megillah, chapter 1, law number 5. Hazal tell us something very important. Hazal tell us that when the Mashiach comes, okay, not going to be any more festival. All the festival going to be cancelled, except the festival of Purim and Hanukkah. But let's focus on Purim because we are talking about Purim because we're still in the part of Purim because tomorrow is Shushan Purim. The festival of Purim didn't finish. Tomorrow we don't say Tahanun, Rabotai, remember. What is the Hidush here? So Chazal explaining, the one idea is that when the Mashiach comes, okay, going to be so much miracle when the Mashiach comes that the Kadosh Baruch Hu will make 50 times more miracle than he makes to the Jewish people when he redeemed them from Egypt. Haren niflaot. Niflaot, gematria nun, hamishim. Why dafka hamishim? Rabotai, listen to that. What is the tree that Haman prepared, the gallows that Haman prepare for Mordechai? 50 amah. How do we destroy it? 50. That's the nun of the word Nahash. That's where all come all the Amalek. That's where come Amalek, Nahash. The nun, the 50. Akadosh Baruch Hu will make 50 times more miracle than he make to the Jewish people when they left Egypt. Said the Mefarshim in that case. How are we going to speak about the exodus of Mitzrayim on Pesach when there is now a miracle that's 50 times more? They explain the Mefarshim. It's not that Pesach going to be cancelled, no. But the story of Pesach, that all what we're doing in Pesach, it's Pesach. That the Ari HaKadosh, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria Ashkenazi, explained that the main mitzvah on Pesach is to talk about the miracle that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made to the Jewish people in Egypt when they left. But it's not going to be anymore. Why? Because the miracle that he's going to do when the Mashiach comes, please God, in our days, going to be 50 times more. So there is nothing to speak about it. The same with Sukkot, that they said in a cloud of glory. On Shavuot. So everything going to change. All of those festivals that we have, it's not that they're going to be canceled, but there's no more to speak about it, to tell about it. Why? Because we're not going to need to speak about it. There's new things that are going to come. It's going to be like a new era. Miracle like we never saw. 50 times more. It's. I don't think that we understand it. I personally can't understand it. Maybe you all guys understand, but I'm not on a level to understand how's it going to look like. And the Rambam say, Lo neda ma yeh ad sheyeh. What does it mean? The Rambam tell us, we're not going to know what's going to happen when the Mashiach comes until he comes. That means we can't understand, we can imagine, but we cannot understand how's it going to be. Until the Mashiach comes and we see it in our own eyes. And that's the Hidush. But there's another secret. There's another secret. We know that the festival of Pesach is a happy festival. It's a festival that people dress up and pretend, and that's where the custom comes, to dress up in Pesach. A person want to pretend that he's a cowboy, dress like a cowboy today. A person want to think that he's a policeman, he dress like a policeman. A person want to dress like a king, he think that he's a king, and etc. He say in Purim, it's a day that we're dressing up. It's a day that although that we have sinned, we can dress up in a different way to pretend we're something else. It tell you that that's what's going to happen for the future. That when the future comes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will know exactly who we are, the same like he know now. But the difference is that then it's all going to be clear. That means everyone going to do tshuva. The same like the children of Israel done tshuva in a time when all the Jews done tshuva when? In a time of Haman Rasha, when he put the decree to kill, to destroy, to annihilate every Jew, from baby, from infant, to elderly, young, youth, until all different ages. He didn't have mercy. Father, parents, grandparents, grandparents, and children. He said that's what's going to be the simcha. The same simcha that was in the time of Mordechai and Esther for all the Jews, that decree changed, and they never ever thought that they can change the decree. That's what's going to happen. So he come to tell you something very interesting. Purim, you can pretend. Purim, you can think that you're police. In Purim, we dress up. But it's a day that, although that if we've done something wrong, it's a day of atonement now. And for the days to come, when the Mashiach comes, all the festival gonna cancel except Purim. Why? Because it's a day of joy. We're gonna be 100% holy and pure with no averot. And then Akadosh Baruch Hu will make us happy with all the rest of the festival. That means all the festival that we're gonna have gonna be a joy. And now I'm gonna go back to the beginning to link it together. We say that on Yom Kippur, that we ask for forgiveness. We ask that Akadosh Baruch Hu will accept our atonement. Everything we do, that Akadosh Baruch Hu will forgive us. How do we do that? By that we acting like an angel. We don't eat, we don't drink, and etc. All the prohibition, all the 5 prohibition that we have. But on Purim, we do it exactly the opposite. We don't do it spiritually, we do it physically. We eat, we drink, we're having a sa'uda, okay? All of that we're doing to rectify the sin of the feast of King Ahasuerus. On a higher level is the feast that we're doing is to rectify the eating from the tree of knowledge, because that's what brought originally all the problem. That now we have Sha'bud Malchuyot. Now we under the authority of the world, and we see it clearly. Israel now have a problem. She want to finish the job in Gaza, she can't. America tell us, listen, if you're gonna be by yourself if you're gonna go and start striking down there. Egypt putting pressure on the states putting pressure on Israel, the European nation putting pressure on America. Why? Because they don't want us to go to Rafah, to strike in Rafah, to finish the job. Israel not independent. On a day that the Mashiach comes, not going to be any Sha'bud Malchuyot. That's called Sha'bud Malchuyot. That we happen to listen to other countries. Malchuyot, it's other countries. Sha'bud is that we have to obey what they're telling us. That's all going to end when the Mashiach comes. He said that Purim is a day that we can change all of that. That we're not going to have all of that. We're going to be in happiness, the same like we're happy. And that's what we dress, to pretend that's something that we not are. But when the Mashiach comes, that pretending, that's who we really going to be. People with no sin, people with no averot. We're going to be pure, we're going to be holy. And then we listen to the tzaddikim of the generation. The same like happened in the time of Mordechai. At the beginning, Mordechai told them, don't go to the feast. They didn't want to listen. Mordechai told them not to go. 18,500 of the Jews gone. Kadosh Baruch Hu said, you don't want to go. You didn't want to listen to Mordechai. I'm going to send you a king, a wicked king, like Haman. And now, inevitably, you have to listen. When the Mashiach comes, we all going to listen. And that's the secret, Rabotai, of those Ne'aman. That's the secret of Purim. That Purim is a day that we dress up. Everything is hidden. Everything moving. We have to say to ourselves, stop a minute. It's a time for me. Nachon, that I have a mitzvah to eat. I have a mitzvah to give mishloach manot. I have a mitzvah to give matanot la'evyonim. I have to listen to the Megillah. All of that, that's fine. But I also have to have time to focus to study Torah on that day. And the feast, Rabotai, like we explained, that the soul of Esther, Mordechai, and the Almighty coming and sitting with us on a feast. As long that the feast done, obviously with kosher food, with purity and holiness. By that we sitting and we eating, we actually rectifying the original sin that the Jews done where? In Shoshana Bira. But on a higher level, we're rectifying the eating of the tree of knowledge, where all the troubles start. And who is it start? With the Nahash, with the Nun. Gematria Hamishim. Hamishim is 50. What it mean 50? The gallows that Haman built to hang who? Mordechai. And he been hanged. What does it come to teach us? We say v'nahapochu. It will turn upside down. That means to teach us that in the end, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, whatever he done, he maybe put us underneath a bit of pressure, underneath stress, to do tshuva. When we do the tshuva, then the gallows that they prepare for Mordechai, Haman bin him. Those that try to put us, I don't want to say underneath what, they're going to fall on that. They're going to be hanged on that gallows, the enemy of the Jews. And that's the secret. So Yom Purim is a holy day. And the Mekubalim explained that it's even holy day in Yom Kippur, like I explained earlier. So the important is that on Yom Kippur, we should also study Torah. Not just Mishloach Manot, Kriyat HaMegillah, Mishloach Manot, Matanot LaEvyonim, and Sauda. That's all beautiful. But where's the time to sit to study on that holy day? Where's the time that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to listen? This is one of my mitzvot. You listening to me, I will listen to you. The same like you give to everyone, like the Maran Shulchan Aruch Paskin Itzar Taf Resh Tzadik Daled 694, give to whoever asks, I will give you, and I'm not going to judge you if you have or not. Like the Rabbi Binyamin Finkel say, that's the Hiddush. That everything in Purim is exactly the opposite what we think. Opposite the logical. And that's the secret of Purim. And that's what it said in our book. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say enough to our tzoros. And he will turn everything upside down. Whatever at the moment is up will be down, and whatever is down going to be up. That means that because at the moment we see the false of the world, how the world saying shame, they don't have food. But those terrorists, where they're fighting? From a hospital. The world doesn't say a word about it. The terrorists use a hospital, unheard of. A terrorist took his mother and his sister as a shield and shooting at the soldier. Unheard about it. People using school, the Hamas using the school, the mosque, hospital, clinic, all the food that the American and Jordan brought down, now taken by the Hamas and start to be sold. And the world keeping quiet. Everything is upside down. Nahapochu. Purim is a time that we can turn all of it. And that way come the costume. That people can dress like they're right, United Nations, that pretend that they're United Nations. But a matter of fact, all of those UNRWA members, over 500 people from them, they're terrorists, they found out. That's what it means, V'nahapochu. So Be'ezrat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say enough to all our tzoros, enough to the Jewish problem in the world. and we'll send us Mashiach Tzidkenu, and we'll see the light, and we'll see the Mashiach in our day. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon. If there is any question, we'd gladly try to answer. I'm sure that there's a lot of question about that subject of the hiding idea behind Purim. Bechavod. Please.
Hello, it's Anthony.
Antonio, Hag Sameach. How are you? Purim Sameach to you. Shushan Purim Sameach.
Chag Sameach. First the question is the banging of Haman. Is it a minhag or is it a mitzvah? And should you bang on Haman?
No, it's a minhag. It's a minhag, and I explained. It's a minhag. It doesn't say anywhere it's a mitzvah. It's a minhag. It's a minhag, and a minhag is a minhag. It's a minhag. You can't cancel that minhag, but it's not a mitzvah. And I explained that the Mekubalim say rather kick your leg on the floor, like you're hitting your legs on the floor. But there is a difference. It's a minhag, and you can't cancel it. It's a minhag. It's not a mitzvah. Ken.
And also the miracles in the Mashiach will be 50 times greater than going out of Egypt. That's quite something.
It's not something. It's something that we can't understand. It's going to be so great. I mean, just imagine for 1 second. In Mitzrayim, and we're talking about it every Pesach, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu turned all the liquid in Eretz Mitzrayim to blood, to show that HaKadosh Baruch Hu in control of all the liquid in the world. What can be greater than that HaKadosh Baruch Hu going to do about liquid? And that's one thing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu then send all the wild beasts to kill the Egyptian. What can be 50 times more that we can't imagine? And that's what the Rambam said. Lo nedar ma sheyeh, until it's going to happen. You can imagine, but it's going to be far-fetched from what's really going to happen. Because what's going to happen is going to be 50 times more miracle.
Okay, thanks very much. Thanks very much.
Pleasure. Any other question, Rabotai, regarding the subject?
First of all, I'd just like to answer.
Oh, Jeffrey, Erev Tov, Jeffrey.
Erev Tov to you.
How are you?
Thank God.
How are you?
Oh, good. Hope everyone's well. Had a wonderful Purim.
How was your holiday?
Oh, Baruch Hashem, it was quiet. It was lovely. It was restful. It was just what was needed. Thank you. It was great.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Rolf, the first thing that comes to mind, Achashverosh had this big feast to show off him who he was and what he was, and it was a big feast which he invited. How comes he invited the Jews? And how comes he knew about the Jews?
Okay, so I see that you missed some of the Shorim, and I will answer you, because some of the Shorim you wasn't with us, and I missed you, but I'll explain. Why did Dafka after 3 years, the king Ahasuerus decided, sorry, I'm just putting something. Why Ahasuerus decide to make, after 3 years that he's in power, to make such a great feast for the Jewish people in Shoshana Bira? What does he care about Shoshana Bira? What does he care about the Jews? You understand the question?
Yes.
What's the Hadukim? So the Mefarshim say that the Ahasuerus have in mind that because Vashti told him that he's not allowed to build Bet HaMikdash. He knew that after 70 years from the destruction of the first temple, the second temple going to be built. So he waited 3 years to end the 70 years, although that it happened on the last 3 years for the counting, but he miscalculated. He miscalculated the counting. When he saw that the 70 years come and Bet HaMikdash not built, he wanted to say to the Jews, HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgot about you. And he started dressing as a Kohen Gadol. And I told you the new Hiddush that I saw today, that I heard today, that even Vashti dressed as a Kohen Gadol. She's a queen, she said to him. I'm entitled to dress as a holy priest. That means that all of it was a plan to make sure that the Jewish people going to give up their religion. You understand? You understand what's hiding behind it? Why did he done it?
To give up their faith because it didn't happen.
Absolutely. That's all what he wanted. Why did he make a feast for the Jewish people? But the Jewish people doesn't know that it's rich. The Jewish people doesn't know how much money he have, how strong he is.
Yeah.
Everyone knew. So what's the hidush here? You done it to your minister, to your advisor, etc. But why are you making it to the Jews? B'Shoshana Bira. 7 days. What's the hidush? To tell them, you see, here, I'm taking all the clay Bet HaMikdash, all the vessel of Bet HaMikdash, and I'm using it, not the Kohen Gadol, because you're not going to have Bet HaMikdash. I'm a matter of fact, the Kohen Gadol. You understand?
Yeah. Right. So but Achashverosh hated the Jews. I mean, he was
For sure.
he
For sure,
hated
he
the
had
Jews.
the plan.
And then there was it Memuchan, and who was Haman, or who was
Chazal say in the Gemara Masechet Megillah, Memuchan, in page 13, I explained 13, folio 1.
Yeah.
Haman hu Memuchan hu Haman, Memuchan laporanut. Remember that I explained in the Gemara Masechet Megillah.
Yes. Yes, you did.
So Haman is Memuchan. Muchan lema, ready for what? For the poranut, for tragedy. What was his tragedy? If you look at the Megillah, when the name of Haman started in chapter 3,
Yes.
count 70 verses, that's where he last mentioned. That means Haman was in power for 70 days, 2 months and 10 days. That's all. That's how he became so great. Until then, Haman was nothing. Haman originally was a barber. He was a haircutter, that's all. He was a barber. What he used to do. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu make him so high, to grow up. And that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's what you say. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Hashem, Magvia Shfalim, okay? Mashpil geim, mashpil. What it mean mashpil? Bring them down. The same with the goyim. He let them go up, and when he bring them down, he crushed them. Nothing left from them. All of those that gone against the Jewish people, HaKadosh Baruch Hu make them great. Take Hitler, Yimach Shemo v'zichro. He was so great. All the world.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nebuchadnezzar, nothing. Pharaoh, nothing. Alexander Mokdon, Alexander the Great, nothing. Rome, nothing. Babylon, nothing. They disappear, wiped off. What did HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kadosh Baruch Hu helping them grow up, go up, go up, go up, and from the top, he crushed them, destroyed them, annihilate them. That means when he brings them down, the fall is so hard, but nothing left from them. You understand? That's in our term, our explanation. And you see, whoever go against the Jews, at the beginning, Kadosh Baruch Hu do something that against understanding. Speak against the Jews, they go up, go up, go up, go up. Kadosh Baruch Hu lift them up, give them energy, and then he bring them down, that nothing left.
Yeah. That's
67. You remember the war of 67? You remember the war of 67?
Yes, clearly.
Abdul Nasser. Abdul Nasser was the president
yes, Abdul.
of Egypt.
Yeah.
You remember how he spoke at what arrogancy, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
Pow, disappear. After the war, disappear. Who came? Sadat. Immediately Sadat came. Anwar Sadat.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Akadosh Baruch Hu, not only that he embarrassed him, he crushed him. You never hear about Abdul Nasser.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That's the Chokhmah. And that's what we have to learn from the Megillah. Kadosh Baruch Hu made Haman. Haman, no one knew about it. Memuchan. Who's Memuchan? One of the ministers. And suddenly Haman started growing. Start flourishing. Yes, for 70 days. Kadosh Baruch Hu allowed you. Go up. Go. Grow up. Giving you a lot of arrogancy, a lot of proud. Whop. Disappear.
Is it also that Hashem allows people to do this because they've got to reach a certain level where they're punished, where they're really punished, where, you know, you're take our normal lives. We do things that are not always so good, but Hashem has mercy on us. And it builds up and builds up and builds up. And then at that time, Hashem, well, that's enough.
The difference is, Jeffrey, that the Jewish people can do atonement.
Yes.
The Goyim can't do atonement. There's no atonement. How are they going to do atonement?
Yeah.
You understand the difference?
Yeah. You know, Haman and Ashvarosh were in cahoots. We're like together. So how come when he was trying to now get this letter to destroy all the Jews, to annihilate us, he started talking about there are people called the Jews in those 127 provinces who have their own laws. So he knows. He knew
but ask yourself, from the day that he sent that letter, it was a year later. He sent it in Nisan, almost a year later, 11 months. He said, in 11 months, we're going to kill all the Jews. During that time, where's the anti-Semitism? Nothing happened. Kadosh Baruch Hu protect us. You know how many rockets been shot today from Lebanon to Israel? Over 50 rockets, if not more, close to 100 rockets. No injuries.
Unbelievable. Yeah. That's an open miracle. It's not even a hidden miracle.
You understand?
Yeah.
We just don't want, when I say we, you all tzaddikim, we don't look at it properly. We don't understand it. No, we do understand. We don't want to understand. We don't want to see what HaKadosh Baruch Hu doing for us. Every morning that we wake up and we breathe and we can get up, we don't appreciate.
Yeah. No,
That's that we can walk every morning to shul to pray. It's a miracle by himself.
Sure.
How many people can't walk?
Yeah.
How many people alenu cannot get up of the bed, lying in bed?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to say thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu every day. טוב להודות להשם, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. עושה דוד המלך.
Yeah.
Follow.
You know, as you get older, Rob, every time you get up, you do the brachas in the morning, you really appreciate them very much. When you're young, yeah, you make the brachas because you
But
that's
that's
the thing to do.
exactly it. That's exactly it. When we're young, we should appreciate.
Exactly. We know.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the problem. That's Purim to tell us, wait, stop that. Running. You know, like the hamster running up around himself.
Around
You know, the
for no
hamster.
reason.
That's what we're doing in life. Sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time.
Running
Do we ever sit
circles.
and say, listen, I have mitzvot, I need to do. You know, 10 years ago, I was sitting with a businessman because I wanted to go to the diamond industry, and I got a license for it. And I was sitting with a few of them, and they helped me to get the license. And the guy said to me, his father told me always, the work never gonna end. Remember that, work never gonna end. Take a break, look after yourself. And I remember when I got that, and I said to myself, sometime it's time to say, pass up.
Yeah, be careful.
It's actually more, it was close to, if I'm not mistaken, close to 15 or 20 years ago, not 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He said that to me. And he actually switched on something that let me understand that these things more important.
Well, thank you for all your insights into Purim, Rob. Thank you. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Pleasure. Okay, guys, Be'ezrat Hashem, I'll see you on Thursday night on Parshat HaShavua She'or. Thursday night, what's happening? Let me look quick at my calendar. No, there's no special day. It's Good Friday on Friday. So we obviously can have a She'or, and then we have, after that, after Good Friday, we have Easter Monday. So all the shtiyot that they have. So Be'ezrat Hashem, Bli Neder, we'll have Thursday. And after that Sunday, we'll have Shorim Be'ezrat Hashem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give us the strength and the knowledge and the chokhmah to learn, and please God to pass it on. Lilmod u'lelamed Be'ezrat Hashem. In the meantime, I would like to wish all of you Shushan Purim Sameach, a beautiful week ahead to us, to all of us. And the most important, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say enough to our tzoros, return those that been in captivity, you know, the hostages, that it's close to 170 days, Rabotai, 170 days, we don't understand.
True.
You know, Be'ezrat Hashem, that we should see miracle, that all of those hostages will come home. Be'ezrat Hashem, Bri'im u'shlemim. Bri'im is healthy, and Shlemim in full body. You know?
Perfection.
It's not a chokhmah to come with no legs.
Yeah.
But HaKadosh Baruch Hu will return all the hostages, return all of those that been kidnapped before and after, because was few in the hand of the Hamas, few hostages, a few kidnapped soldiers, that Be'ezrat Hashem, all the body gonna return back to Israel of the deceased, of those holy people.
Yeah.
Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll see them, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say enough to our tzoros and send us Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day.
Amen.
Have a good
Amen.
night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. All the best. Shavua Tov and beautiful week ahead to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.